Now let's go and design a beam together, right? So we go for File, New Family. What we should, where we should go, the template we should open is the structural framing, beam and braces. We select it and open it. It's a basic family, right? We just want to use it as an excuse to check some other parameters. If we enter this part, we can see that there is a volume made by extrusion here. All you've got to do is to edit it right here, and then you will have a beam. So for example, I will go to left elevation and I'll select it and I click edit extrusion. For example, imagine I want to have such thing, a beam, an I-beam with fillet corners. It's like I, you know, the I, the letter. And I wanted it to be flat, fillet. Well, check this out. Now we've got to make this parametric, right? Just like that. Now, these two are the same, right? Now, instead of doing this, there's a technique. You can go to this part and draw a reference plane, right? Like this. And then both of these lines will be locked to this reference plane. Just like that. Now, if you move this, both of those will be moved as well. Alright, so instead of having two parameters, you draw a reference plane, both of them will be locked to that reference plane, and then you give this a dimension, right? You can do this too. Then you might say, well, I'm more comfortable with the previous one, but you can do this because it has got some other benefits, which I will explain. Anytime you have several lines, if you lock them to a reference plane and then give dimension to that reference plane. So I do that. I draw a reference plane for the other one too. I can use align multiple to. I log those two. Well, now, you tell me, based on your own information, about this one. What should I do? What else does it want? Actually, for not exiting the box, what does it need? That's right, EQ. Now I can find it. There it is. Again, we can make it smaller. Well, what's left? The width and the actually depth. It had a reference plane itself. If it didn't, we would draw it. So let's measure it. Does it need EQ? Definitely. Because this beam should be both vertically and horizontally in the reference plane, based on the reference plane. So I have I draw an EQ here. I'll select it. It's not there in the parameters, so I should go for type. Height. And this one would have to be width. These will also be, for example, T1. And this one will be, for example, T2. Alright. Let's test it. For example, the height would be 50. So the reference plane must be changed. The width would be, for example, 30. It's alright. T1 and T2. everything is okay. But the fillet. So at first this one, I said that it's not important how much the size is. When it gets parameter, it will be alright. I'll fix these. We can also select all 4 of them together at once instead of selecting one, then give it a parameter and then the other. We can select all of them together. Finish. And then using this part, we can change R. Load it into project. And this is it. And in edit type, you can change anything you want. Again, please practice.